Doug was just asking before we get into it, and by the way, congratulations on the win. That Jeff Saturday was just named the interim head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. They pulled him out of the ESPN, booth, so to speak. What have you ever heard of anything like this? What's your take on that?
I haven't. Good for him. Good for him getting that job, and hope it works out for them. But no, that's the first time, and I believe it may be the first time that someone's been hired with that pedigree. But good for him.
Would it feel a little bit weird to have somebody from the outside come in to coach a team? I would think.
I don't know. Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe it's not. I guess time will tell. We don't know right now, and we'll see. But I'm not too concerned with what the Colts are doing. But good for them, and hope it works out.
Well, with that said, congratulations on the win. And how much did this team and your locker room need this?
Yeah, it's huge, man. They're all big. They all feel the same, and I think coming off the losing streak we were on though, and getting one, especially a division win at home in front of our home crowd, and the defense playing the way they did, it was big, and it gives us a little bit of juice rolling forward.
You say they all feel the same, and yet, given what happened last week, losing Audrey Pleasant as defensive backs coach, trading T.J. Hawkinson, it still felt the same. There wasn't anything more or less satisfying with this win.
I think it, that stuff all, made the week a little bit tougher, but getting our second W this far into the season feels the same as it would either way, I guess, is what I was trying to say. But, those guys, obviously wish Aubrey and TJ the best, but very thrilled we got that win, and it was a tough week leading up to that, but our guys stuck through it and did a good job.
The video that emerged from your locker room showed a lot of passion and a lot of excitement. What was it like to be a part of that?
Yeah, always fun, man. It really is always fun. And, these guys in the soccer room, we've been through so much adversity together and so many hard times that, that we're able to really enjoy these good ones and know the work that was put into it. So I think you kind of saw some of that spilling out there, and it was fun to see AG get that ball there and get to talk to us for a second.
How did you guys as a team celebrate the win? Did you guys go out together afterwards, or what did you do personally?
I went home and sat on the couch and relaxed and enjoyed the win with my family and friends. But, no, we enjoyed that thing in the locker room and, moved on to the next one and, the 24-hour rule. Enjoyed it through, a little bit of Monday and then about halfway through Monday, you kind of put it behind you.
So I'm going to quote a wise football philosopher named Jared Goff, who earlier this year, when you guys were putting up huge points and all that, and we said, are you getting frustrated with the defense? You said, now, wait a sec. Someday the defense is going to make plays that wins us a game. And you were exactly right, because the defense was so good on Sunday when they needed to be. Talk about their effort on that side of the ball.
Yeah, it's always important to keep that perspective. I think the season's so long and there's so many ups and downs, and outside looking in, it's such a week-to-week league, but we know that there's so many different things that can happen. So I knew at some point they were gonna do their thing, and they were gonna support us offensively, and they had to the other day. We put up 15 points, and it was enough to win that game, but maybe had some other opportunities to score a little bit more, and they did their job, man. And some, getting those turnovers, especially in the red zone against a good team, a good quarterback, giving us more chances with the ball. It's all what goes into a good team win, and I thought those guys, specifically Kirby, obviously with the plays he made, just really held us up yesterday or Sunday and made it a lot easier for us offensively.
I'm glad you brought up Kirby, because Dan Campbell said this morning that you could see this coming in practice. You could see that he was going to make an impact. Tell us a little bit about what you have seen from him in practice as a rookie safety.
Yeah, I think going all the way back to training camp, he was always just around the ball and always getting his hands on the ball, always just kind of wherever, if the ball was in the air, he felt like it was his to go get. And those are the DBs that, you worry about because they're willing to go get it, and he's one of them. But, yeah, I think, as he's settled into this defense, and he's a rookie, so he's still learning it, but in these last handful of weeks, he's really started to settle in and understand where he's supposed to be and what his rules are and all his jobs. And I think it's allowing him to play pretty free right now. And, it really showed up there on Sunday.
Now, on the offensive side of the ball, we briefly mentioned about trading Hawkinson. It means it gives other guys opportunities. You had a couple of tight ends working with you there in Zylstra and Mitchell, and maybe not many targets, but, wow, big success when you threw to him a couple of touchdowns. Talk about what these guys have shown in practice and then being able to implement that in the game?
Yeah, it was fun to work with them. I think it's always fun getting new guys and younger guys. Shane and Brock and I have had a lot of reps together, so we're fairly familiar. But getting James in there and getting him involved last week, even against Miami, at his first catch, and then throughout this week of practice, knowing he was going to be a bit more involved and seeing how dialed in he was and how locked in he was, it really, gives me that trust in him and that reliability. And it was fun to see it show up in a touchdown for him. But he deserved that. He's been working hard and getting back from his ACL, and it was fun to get out there with him.
How does it change a game plan or even with the playbook that you don't have Hockenson and what his abilities aren't necessarily the same abilities that these other guys bring to the table? How do things change?
It changed it slightly. I think there was times where we were really trying to feed TJ the ball, certainly, and I don't know if those guys are quite there yet, but the game usually dictates where the ball goes. It's not always pre-planned. Obviously you have your players that you want to get involved, but who knows? One of these games, one of those guys could have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 catches. You never know, and it's just the way the flow of the game goes.
On both of those touchdowns, Zylstra and Mitchell, both the tight ends, were they not the primary receiver? It looked like you, on both of them, were working your way through the progression to find them.
Yeah, Shane was number 2 and James was number 3. But yeah, those plays we ran a lot and we got a lot of reps on. So it was good to get to both of them. It's fun to see them celebrate in the end zone. Both of them were fairly wide open to throw to. So it's a good play design by Ben, and we were able to make it execute and show up.
Sometimes when a player is traded, like TJ, it's because there's a replacement waiting or a high ceiling player that you're opening up more snaps for. Was that behind TJ at tight end? Is James potentially that guy? He had some pretty huge numbers as a big play tight end at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I like James. I think he's done a good job. I think he's got a lot of room to grow. Certainly, he's a rookie. He's in his second game ever. But yeah, he's got the right mentality. He's got the tools physically, and really comes to work and works every day. And that's really all you can ask for from these guys. Where that takes him in his career, we shall see. But he's a fun guy to play with and a fun guy to be around, and really works hard and does his job.
We all know football is a business, but how much did it hurt personally that Hawk was traded, and did you get a chance to talk to him afterwards?
Yeah, I did talk to him. Yeah, he's a friend of mine, a guy that I'd grown close with over the last couple of years, and that always sucks. Whether you're close to the guy or not, it sucks to lose teammates in any shape or form. And he was, obviously a close friend of mine and guy that I'll continue to root for as long as he's playing. And we got one game against each other this year, and I'll see him there and be rooting against him there. But otherwise, always pulling for him and always wish him the best.
So yesterday we played a soundbite from Aaron Rodgers after the game. And I don't know if it's something you heard or talked about, but he made the comment about how he said, we can't lose to that team. And I thought, wow, I can't believe a player came out and was somewhat disrespectful. What do you, as the quarterback of the Lions, think of that Aaron Rodgers comment?
I don't know if he meant it disrespectfully. I don't know if that's the way he was trying to make that come off, but we'll be that team that no one really wants to lose to all year if that's the case. It's fun. We'll be them, and they certainly have their own issues they're figuring out. But it was a good game, and it was a hard-fought game, and I certainly don't think it was meant to be disrespectful by him.
I'll tell you that there are some people already making up T-shirts with the Lions logo that say "that team" on it, and just kind of lean it into it. Say, "Okay, all right, we'll be that team."
There you go. We'll be that team that no one thinks they should lose to, and maybe they do. Who knows?
Yeah.
Big game Sunday against the Bears. How on earth do you simulate in practice going against a quarterback like Justin Fields?
Yeah, I don't know. Man, running for 180 yards is pretty special, and I don't know. You put a receiver at quarterback. I have no idea. Dan may have a plan for that, but I don't know. We shall see.
What kind of challenges do you see from the Bears defense? They traded away Roquan Smith. He made his presence known last night with the Ravens, but the Bears without Roquan Smith, how much different do you expect them to be?
They're still really good on defense. I think you watch some of these games recently, and they've done a good job. They're extremely sound, and they've got a lot of veteran players over there, so they really do know what they're doing. Obviously, their coach is a defensive coach, and we'll have an emphasis on that side of the ball. So, it'll be a challenge for us certainly, but a big one for us. Another one in the division on the road. That'll be a tremendous win for us. We can pull it out.
Seems like in the other professional sports, whether it's the Tigers players talking about it or Red Wing players or Piston players, everyone loves the road trip to Chicago because of certain restaurants or certain foods they get to go to. What is it for you, the best spot in Chicago for food, or what's the one thing you enjoy about maybe what a Chicago road trip can bring?
Yeah, I haven't really been out there to eat much. Actually, I got drafted there. So my draft was in Chicago, and then I've played there twice now, once in LA and then once here. And yeah, so I really haven't been out to eat much. I know Lou Malnati's is the pizza. I've had that. But I really haven't had a chance to get out and eat. But maybe this Saturday night I will. We'll see what the schedule shows. But it's a good city, man. It's fun. It's a fun place to play. Should have a little bit of weather this weekend. It'll be fun.
Hey, we appreciate your time. Congrats on the win. We'll go get another one, and we'll talk again next week.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
there he
Jared.
is, Detroit Lions quarterback Jared Goff following the Lions win over Green Bay this weekend.